Hello and welcome to today's edition of Action Choices Live. And I am Sandra, your RDN, where you make the decision to take action regarding your health, your wellness, your weight loss, and I guide you in making the best choices that work for you. And so every Tuesday, I have the pleasure of dishing out your daily dose or weekly dose of nutrition and wellness news for the mind, the body, and your soul. And so I hope everybody had a wonderful and safe holiday weekend, Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And I hope you're having a wonderful week and day so far. And so for those who are joining me live, I thank you for taking time out to pause, to have a little lunch break, have a little time to have some self-care, I like to call it. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you for taking time out to pause out of your hectic evening to listen to the replay. And so we are wrapping up our November theme. And today's topic is the day after. So in this case, the day after overeating on Thanksgiving. Okay. What happens to your body? What was that you experienced if that was the case for you? Some people have it under control. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And so while people are tuning in and chiming in, please feel free to, share with me where you're tuning in from. I am going to get my windows set up. So if you see me looking around, that is me trying to get my window set up. So when you do chime in, I'm able to see your name and I'm able to refer to you directly. So I love engagement. So definitely don't feel shy. I'd love for you to participate because I definitely want to hear how your holiday went. And today's really all about fun. It's not about judging. It's not about slapping your hand. It's really about having fun. And hey, we got Christmas coming up. So we can make different, maybe different choices in December so you're not feeling the effects the next day. Okay? All righty. So again, I see some people tuning in. So definitely, please chime in and tell me your name and so I can know that you're on. And so exactly what happens to your body the day after? In this case, the day after Thanksgiving or the day after overeating. And so in today's live, I'm going to give 3 reasons why you may not have felt so great the next day, and to also give you some explanations as to why you felt that way. So we got Christmas coming up. So, maybe you can enjoy the Christmas holidays more or the Christmas food more without feeling like, some kind of way the next day. So finally, I would give, I'm going to give 3 super easy tips that can help you to revive and to recover that next day, just in case. Okay. And also stay to the end because, I always have some goodies that I like to give out. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian nutritionist. And I'm really all about helping adults stay motivated and to stay committed to not just losing weight, but more importantly, to keep it off without dieting, without feeling deprived, really to make this a lifestyle change in a way that it doesn't feel like you're missing out or it doesn't feel like it's a lot of effort. Okay. It does take time, but it's definitely something that can happen streamlessly, okay? Simple as that. And I really want to help people get through the holidays, get through the holidays, 1, without feeling all deprived, and 2, just feeling like they can enjoy themselves, okay? And not have to regret it later. So definitely tune in with that. So we are going to jump in with our topic on the day after Thanksgiving, the day after overeating, and what happens to your body. So I always like to pose a question just to kind of see where we're at and to poll people. And so do you prefer, what's your method the next day? We have the big shopping day after Thanksgiving. And so do you prefer to shop online or do you prefer to shop in the stores? Or if you're like me, I prefer not to even bother with the crowds, et cetera, et cetera. So let me know where you fit in that category the day after Thanksgiving with all the shopping going on. So there's kind of a little icebreaker there before we really jump into the topic for today. And so let's see here. I see some people chiming in. Let me see here. Go to stores and shop online. So I'm seeing some of that. Okay, awesome. And I think a lot of people are doing that. Even before the pandemic, I think a lot of people are doing more and more online shopping. They have a lot of different sales than they do in the store, right? All righty. So let's jump into our topic. So imagine waking up the day after Thanksgiving and you notice something, didn't feel a little good or you're feeling a little off. So let's talk about some of those common feelings and some solutions on what you can do. And so some people may have a headache. Some people may feel bloated, things of that nature. And so one common feeling after Thanksgiving is feeling of thirst. Okay, feeling really thirsty that next day. And so eating lots of excess salty foods, such as the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese, the turkey, ham, especially gravy, can, not also have you feeling bloated and puffy and all that kind of good stuff, but it can also have you feeling extremely thirsty. And that's just because of the high sodium content that you're taking in at one time with all those different foods. So holiday food is good, but yeah, we do take a little hit, right? And so what's the solution to all of that? So make sure you continually stay hydrated, okay? If you're very salt sensitive like I am, you can stay hydrated, but you're still going to have some of those side effects, but you definitely want to stay hydrated so that you don't want to disrupt your sleep. And so you want to make sure that you pace it out throughout the day. And also potassium-rich foods helps to counter the effects of sodium when they're in the same meal. And so when I say sodium potassium foods, it depends. When it's holiday food, the closest you're going to get is like low-fat milk, potatoes, like sweet potatoes or something like that, bananas, orange juice, squash, pumpkin. Those are some foods that are very, very high in potassium. So those are some things that you kind of want to help counter the effects of the sodium. So like I said, every little bit helps. So between the having potassium-rich foods and the water will help in that regard. All righty. And so I am going to ask to see if anybody online here has, what do you normally feel, or what did you feel this year, the day after Thanksgiving? Did you feel thirsty, or did you feel something else? So if you felt something else, please share with me, and then, maybe I can shed some insight on, why you maybe felt the way that you felt. So I'm just checking for comments just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And then we are going to go into the next common feeling that people have, which is feeling lethargic, okay? That nap, right? So after you indulge, and then you want to take a nap. So I remember going through this phase where it was just you eat and then, you lay down, you watch a movie, and before you know it, the movie is watching you, right? And so a very common theory, a common thing that I used to hear a lot about is the tryptophan in the turkey is the reason why you want to take a nap after eating that meal. So that's not necessarily the case. That is not scientifically accurate. So let's face it. So usually during the holidays, we're very carb dense. So we're eating a lot of carbs. In a lot of cases, it's not the highest quality carbs. So the fiber has been stripped away and things of that nature. And so it takes a lot for the body to process all of that. And so blood is directed from all other areas of the body to the digestive system to work on breaking down a meal that we pretty much overindulged in. Okay, so really the reason why we're sleepy is because we just overate. At the end of the day, we just overate, and we overate in refined carbs. And that leads to fatigue because the blood is all rushing to your digestive system to try to break all that stuff down. And so we're eating more simple sugars, refined sugars, pies, cakes, cookies. I mean, even the mac and cheese, even the dressing, all that stuff. Okay. We're eating a lot of that in one setting. And so eventually what that does is it causes our blood sugar levels to spike at a relatively high rate. And then of course, anything that goes up must come down. So eventually you're going to come to a crash. And that's when you feel like you want to take a nap. So that's really what that boils down to. And so what is the solution for all of that? Listen to your body, okay? Not saying that you shouldn't have the cakes and the pies and the sweets and all that good stuff, because I mean, that's part of the holiday celebration. However, listen to your body. Eat mindfully. Stop when you're feeling satisfied. Take a break. Realize that you can go back for more later. You do not have to have it all at one time. If you have a big family and you feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't eat it now, I won't have a plate, make a plate, hide it. But don't overindulge, because then you pay for that later. Okay. So those are some ways that you can counteract that. Felt thirsty and full. So that means you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for sharing, Krista. That means she enjoyed herself, and I did too. So you learn. It depends on how full you feel and how, stuffed you feel. Sometimes you're like, oh, I need to lighten up for Christmas next time. But the whole point is, if you enjoyed it, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. So now let me ask, did people take a nap? How many took a nap like within 5 or 10 minutes after eating, or pretty soon after eating? Basically, as soon as you sat down, from eating in another area to watch TV, did you end up finding yourself kind of drifting away, taking a nap? So, and I know been guilty of that, way back when I used to overdo it. So I know the feeling oh too well. So let me know if you was one of those ones that had to take a little nap after the holiday, after eating that big feast. And so a final common feeling that people have is headaches. Okay, headaches. No nap. All right. So that means you didn't overdo it. So you felt full, but it was a comfortable full, and there's an uncomfortable full. So that's good. So if you felt a regular full, that means you're good to go. So another common feeling is having a headache. Okay, and so this can happen for a couple of reasons. One, if you're eating a lot of sodium heavy, salt heavy foods and not drinking enough water, and or, because it can be both, alcohol. So if you're indulging in a high level alcohol, and again, still not countering that alcohol with water, then that is going to lead you to feeling dehydrated when you wake up the next day, because your body is just going to kind of go through that process. It's going to exacerbate the feelings of dehydration even more when you wake up the next day. So, and that's when we get a hangover, because really it's from dehydration. And so having high amounts of salt in such a short period of time can also increase your blood pressure, especially if you're very, very salt sensitive. So it will temporarily spike your blood pressure. And then alcohol is also a diuretic, meaning that it's going to cause you to use the restroom. And so again, that's going to cause you to dehydrate if you're not replenishing yourself. So it's kind of, the chicken and the egg thing that's going on. So you're coupling high salty foods along with alcohol and lack of water. So, and all of that will contribute to having a headache the next day. Okay, so what is the solution to all of that? So you want to drink water before, during, after. You want to just have as much water, even if you're drinking. One trick, if you want to call it a trick, is you have your drink, you have 8 ounces of water, at least 8 ounces, 16 ounces of water, but don't just have a drink after drink after drink. So kind of alternate the drinks and the water, and that will at least help you to hydrate yourself versus not having enough hydration. Then you wake up with a headache. So instead of going, so it's like I said, alternate. So that's the best way to do that. And really, I would say 16 ounces more so than 8 ounces, just to make sure, because alcohol, again, is a diuretic. So it will cause you to dehydrate over time. So my question is, did any of you experience a headache? Whether it was just from dehydration, or maybe it was alcohol involved as well. So it's not always alcohol that causes the dehydration. So did you, or any type of feelings of uncomfortableness? So if you experience any of these three common things, then, we got Christmas coming up. So these are some things that you can arm yourself. These are some of the things you can arm yourself for to kind of help get through Christmas a little bit better. And so the above three, these 3 points that we talked about, being thirsty, wanting to take a nap, and the headache, these are just a snapshot of how much goes on with the body, when we overeat. Okay. And it's not just holiday food, but it's just any time over a period of time. These are the things that can affect the body and how it affects the body. So how do we recover? How do we revive ourselves and pick up the pieces so that we can keep going the next day? Okay. And so here are 3 tips on how to recover if you have experienced any of those symptoms. Okay. Number 1, don't skip breakfast. You're probably not going to feel like eating anything the next day, but when you first wake up, but you still should, okay? Because your body, remember, is in a state of trying to recover from overeating. It's still trying to digest all these carbs. If it's a headache, it's still dehydrated. So you're not going to feel physically hungry, but we need to replenish your body, okay? And it can be simple: oatmeal, whole wheat toast, fruits, eggs, all this together, not just one individual item, and some milk. Okay, low-fat milk. So you want to have a balanced breakfast. You can cook your oatmeal with milk, so that helps get the milk in. All that makes it a powerhouse breakfast. That's really going to help replenish your body with nutrients, as well as hydration that is kind of lost during the process of trying to digest the meal that we had the night before. If you're eating out the next day, eat out sensibly. Review the menu. You still want to have some form of a carb, depending on what your options are. If that's the rice, if that's the burger, the hamburger bun, if that's the potato, whatever they have on the menu, you still want to give your body some adequate carbs. Lean protein. You don't have to just opt for chicken. You have fish, you have lean steak, you have lean pork, you have all types of lean protein sources that you can span or choose from. Eating out, fat is usually not an issue. So that macro is going to get taken care of just by ordering off the menu pretty much. And water, water, water. I cannot stress enough that, there is no replacement for plain, simple water. Okay. And it's perfectly fine to add lemon and, some people like to do the Crystal Light, little things like that to kind of give a little bit of flavor. However, you want to stay hydrated, okay? You want your body to stay hydrated. You don't want to run to the bathroom every 10 minutes. That's how you know it's a little too much. But you do want to make sure that your body is well hydrated throughout the day. And I'm going to just kind of look for some comments just to make sure, because I see several people chiming in. So please introduce yourself. Please say hello to me so I can see who's on. And just to kind of wrap up everything that we've been talking about today, if you need a guide on how to help you stay fueled, how to stay hydrated, how to recover, especially we have, like we said, we got Christmas coming up. I definitely recommend downloading my free, it's a 3-day meal plan, and it has a prep guide and it has recipes step-by-step on an itemized grocery list. It will help you, guide you to kind of give you some ideals, because a lot of times people are like, well, what do I eat? What do I do? What do I eat leading up to the big meals and things like that? Or what do I eat the next day so I'm not eating the holiday food all day long? So there's ways to do that. Okay, so this plan will help you do that. And after 3 days, believe it or not, after following it, you will see a change in your energy levels. You'll see them go up. You will see yourself not craving as much because you are eating throughout the day and you're not allowing yourself to get too hungry, and you're going to find yourself sleeping better. So you will feel refreshed and things of that nature. So this is just a nice little snapshot of how you can take advantage of the food groups, okay? And also, add a bonus, especially if you're following it 3 days and that's the only thing you're eating is what's on the plan. You'll also, see some weight loss. Believe it or not, you'll see some weight loss. And again, like I said, you'll see your energy levels go up. So definitely check it out, download it, and give it a try. Even if you only tried one meal or a couple of meals, just something different for you to try out. So thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Action Choices Live. And I am Sandra, your RDN. And I'm going to look for some comments before okay, Tanika, I see Tanika. And hey, Karen, thank y'all for chiming in. I appreciate that a lot. And I hope you found this helpful. And next week, we're going to start a new theme. So we got December coming up, and we're going to 'tis the season to be jolly. More food galore. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to start off with sweets and comfort foods. So how do you indulge and avoid that holiday weight gain? So I'm encouraging you to cave into your cravings. And so that's what it's all about, because usually we have a whole lot of homemade stuff during this time of the year. And so we want to be able to enjoy it. So I want you to cave into your cravings, and we're going to talk about how you can do that. Okay. So goodbye for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Blessings and healthy regards. Bye-bye.